before for the other page, but okay, this time, okay. Inshallah, we'll do best.
So we let people in?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, did I? Got it. I didn't make you the. All right, we are admitting all. Okay, we are live in Facebook and here.
Awesome.
So, hi, good morning. Good morning and hi to everyone here.
Good
We
morning,
have,
everyone.
yeah, we have Mr. Vincent, Mr. Julius, and Mr. Akmal. So, good morning. Should we wait for more people to come or we just start?
Totally up to you. You run the show.
All right. Okay. Hi. Okay, so we just start as of now. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Farah, and I'm from Leno on the Run. And with me is the big guy in L&D industry, which is Nazrin. Yes.
I know I've been sitting down too much, but yes,
I mean
I'm getting big.
Yeah.
This is what the pandemic has made me big.
Yes,
I need to walk more, I need to run more.
I mean like the MPP, the most relevant player in L&D industry. So I have Nazrin with me. And basically, Leno on the Run is having this live talk show. This is the first episode, and I'm so blessed to have Nazrin to go with me on the first episode itself, which is What's Your Forte? Which mostly to promote about public programs if the trainer have and they want to have it live and people doesn't know about it much, or people know about it but they still don't have that much idea on what this program is all about. All right, so without any further ado, Mr. Nazrin, if you can introduce yourself more.
Hello, my name is Nazrin, and thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you, Farah, for doing this. And I did not know this was the first episode. I thought I was like already like episode 10 ke 15 ke. So I'm honored to be invited to speak at the very first one. And what I am, I mean, if I were to introduce myself, I'm a learning and performance specialist. I do a lot of my work in Malaysia, Brunei, and Cambodia. And I used to be with an organization called Accenture. And in Accenture, which is a global consulting company, I was a little small fry dalam situ. It has 500,000 people as staff. So I was positioned in Accenture Learning, which means they're a learning and development organization. And the idea there is that we had to be able to upskill as many people within the organization as much as possible. So every year we would be processing people. Now, with 500,000 people, getting them to travel to go to training centers is expensive. Yeah, so they have 5 learning centers globally, in Chicago, in Heathrow, in Madrid, in Bangalore, and in KL. So KL was a learning center where I was positioned, and for a good long 7 years. 7 years sounds a lot short time. It is. It does feel short. It does sound short, but it actually felt like 14 years there. And that's where I cut my teeth in learning and development. That's where I cut my teeth in virtual instructing. So that was where, because we can't train 500,000 people, at training centers, you have to fly them in. So a lot of the training was also done online. And that's what I really enjoyed. So after I left Accenture in 2015, I became a freelance trainer out here in the wilderness, became self-employed, and I did programs for clients and stuff like that. But I missed the virtual training. I missed that. So I thought, okay, I do it again lah. I do it just for the fun of it. I started out with Skype first, and then 2017 I discovered Zoom, and I never looked back since. So I've been applying that for years since I became an instructor, virtual instructor in 2011, I believe. I joined Accenture to 2008, and I became a virtual instructor in 2011. So by years lah, just by years, I've been practicing for about 10 years now. And when the pandemic hit, a lot of my friends who knew that I taught online or were able to teach online, they said, Nazrin, can you teach us? And I go, okay, let me write some articles. So I wrote on Facebook, and they said, thank you very much, we need more. So I wrote an ebook, I compiled all that, turned it into an ebook, and said, here's a free ebook, go and learn. And they said, thank you very much, but we want more. So I said, okay, let's see what we can do. Like I met with a friend who's also a virtual instructor, but not from Accenture, and we did a 1 hour webinar. And in the webinar was just Q&A. Imagine the whole webinar is just Q&A. We were not teaching anything. They had to ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And it was such a hit that people were asking for recordings. They were asking, are we going to do it again? But most of them said, Nazrin, we need a course. So I remembered that I had designed a course called the VLC, the Virtual Learncaster, about a couple of years before that. My aim was to help my friends who were professional learning facilitators to be able to teach online. So I offered, I think about 2018, was it 2018, 2017, 2018, about that. I offered, who wants to learn how to teach online? Nobody wanted. They're like, oh, okay. So I kept it. I simpan. It was in my hard disk for the longest time. Then the pandemic hit, and I thought, okay, I need to take this out of the mothballs. And when I took it out, it was pretty old. It was pretty irrelevant because it was designed many years before that, right? So I went to my professors, I went to my teachers who taught me virtual learning, and then based on their feedback, I redesigned it, and then we launched the very first VLC in April 2020. That was the first pilot. I did 4 pilots, improved it immensely, and then after that, managed to get some interest from people who wanted to be facilitators. I certified them as facilitators, 17 people, and now it's gone mad. It's gone mad. So the VLC has had participants from 21 different countries. We have taught in English and Bahasa, and soon in Arabic, Mandarin, and Tamil. Um, we have taught in basically from locations from Malaysia and from Qatar. So we actually have 2 facilitators in Qatar, presently in Qatar. And we have about 400, I think 400 plus VLCs now, graduates. And we have a very thriving professional learning community. You know, after a course ends, you tutup the WhatsApp group, right? You're like, okay, bye-bye everyone, thank you for coming.
Yes.
They said, no, we don't want to leave. You know, what do I do? So we created a Telegram group and we say, okay, this is not by force. You can join if you want. So out of 400, about 230 have joined the Telegram group, and it's crazy. Every day, everybody's offering to teach something for free. They just run wild. It's madness. And I'm amazed at the community that they've built as a result of that. Like-hearted and like-minded people. So a lot of people praise me, but you have to realize that the VLCs themselves are just very passionate people. They're the ones who keep it going. So that's a little bit about me and about what we're talking about today.
Yes. So thank you so much, Nazrin, for that. So basically, I'm very shocked. I thought that VLC is something due to pandemic, but it was way back that you discovered that people have to go virtually. So it's just like it just hit it when the pandemic come, and then you just take it out from your hard disk and then move forward with it. So it actually, to be honest, I'm a VLC myself. So Nazrin is I've attended Nazrin class in VLC as first as a refresher, secondly directly in the cycle with Miss Nurul. So being online is something that we need these days because of the pandemic, and we don't know like when this pandemic will end. So Nazrin, do you want to share like VLC certification, what it's all about? Because
oh, okay, it's not just me then.
no, it's me. I was like, oh my god. Okay.
Well, welcome to online learning. That's what happens. You be prepared for the worst.
Yes. So basically, online learning have a lot of challenges. And VLC certification, I would say, can help professional educators to overcome those challenges, like mostly on the tools itself. So Nazrin, do you want to share like more intense about VLC certification on what VLC means, especially like VLC is virtual learn caster and all that. Is it possible?
Sorry, what was the question? Because I got a bit confused.
Oh, okay. Like mostly to share detail on VLC certification, because
Okay.
we can see from the outline this is what VLC does, but there's still people that doesn't know intensely what is it about. I mean, it's going online,
Okay.
but what is it about?
All right.
Yes.
So there are three aspects to the VLC certification. Yeah. So the first one is we learn about the tools. The second one is we learn about teaching online, and the third one is we learn about learning experience design techniques. So there are three T's: tools, teaching, and techniques. So what you learn in tools is we run through the 8 type of tools that you use online. Now, this is going to test my knowledge as a founder. If I forget, I apologize, right? So number one is video conferencing tools. And what are the functionality of video conferencing tools? You got Zoom, MS Teams, WebEx, um, free video conference call. You've got all sorts of stuff now coming up, right? But the idea is not to be able to master all of them. You need to understand what the functionalities are. Because if you master Zoom only, then your client says, oh, we must use MS Teams, and then you're stuck. So the idea is you must understand the basic functionalities that are inherent for all of these types. Okay, so then we talk about video conferencing. We also talk about engagement tools. So when I say engagement tools, people are like, what are those? Engagement tools is how you can interact with your audience. And the most famous one is Kahoot. Right? You got Kahoot, you got Mentimeter, you got Wheel of Names, you got all of these. So the definition is that you interact with your audience. The third type is what we call collaboration tools. Collaboration tools is when the participants can interact with each other. So you might know Miro, you might know Jamboard, you might know Padlet. So these tools allow them to work with each other, not just breakout room in Zoom, but they can actually co-write together. And I'll give you a tip, guys. Did you know that on Google, that you have Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, which is the Excel version. If you open up one of that inside your browser, and then you click share, and you click edit, allow others to edit. When you give that link to your participants can come in and edit a slide together. So if you give them, like, put them into breakout rooms, you say, okay, I'm going to give you a Google slide. Different team gets a different link, which means they get a different slide deck, which means that they can actually edit there together. They can build a slide deck together. What's it like? It's like on face-to-face class, you got flip chart paper. Okay, every team gets a flip chart. How do you do it online? So you use collaboration tools. Okay, so that's the third type. Then we have repository tools. Repository is a place where you store all of your workbooks, all of your materials, all of the pre-reading materials, all of the videos that they have to access. So the most basic repository is Google Drive. Okay, guys, all of your course materials are inside this Google Drive link. You click on that. Another one is Dropbox. Another one is OneDrive. But the problem with that is categorizations are difficult, and you cannot do assignments. You cannot do assignments, you cannot do grading, things like that. So what we recommend as the most basic learning management system is Google Classroom. Google Classroom was designed for teachers. So therefore, you can give assignments, you can give gradings, zero, you can give out of 100 marks, you give 30 marks or 77 marks, and then you can comment. You can comment and your student can comment and you can have a discussion there as well. So the most basic repository, we say Google Classroom. So that's 4 already. Then these are the most basic 4. Okay, we have also what we call a response tool. A response tool is like WhatsApp, Telegram, WeChat, whatever. Okay, why do we need a response tool? Because if you're running a virtual class, you need to have direct interaction with your audience. Because what if you accidentally give the wrong meeting link? Let's just say you accidentally give a wrong meeting link to them, and then everybody is somewhere else. So we cannot get you, not get in, and they cannot contact you. They don't have your phone number. They cannot contact you, right? Yes. What are you going to do? Are you going to email everybody the new link? Who's going to open up that email at that point in time? So you'll be waiting. Maybe 30 minutes later, then you get everyone in. But if you have a response tool, you have everyone in the same WhatsApp group, then you can give immediate, I apologize, guys, the link I gave you was wrong. Here's the updated link. Come everybody in. So within a few minutes of confusion, you get straight in. Okay, so the response tool is also important. That's 5. Then as you start moving into e-learning, let's just say you want to after you record your classroom, your Zoom class, you want to put it up online on YouTube or something like that, you need to learn screencasting. You need to learn video editing. You need to learn streaming. So that covers 8 already. So all of this, okay, you have the core 4 and the other 4 supporting tools. So that's what we cover in tools. You need to be able to know the limitations of your tools in order to know how you can design your course. That's why we go tools first, because I've done courses where I did not do proper T&A. I don't do proper trainees analysis. Sekali, everybody, all the participants are sitting in one conference room. The laptop is attached to the projector. I am streaming from Malaysia, and I cannot see their faces. I cannot interact with them. I cannot ask them questions. So it becomes a webinar one way sajalah. Right? I cannot get them to type into the chat, nothing. So if you know that that's going to happen, you need to design your course differently. So that day I had to throw away all my activities because it was worthless. The fact that they couldn't type into the chat was bad enough. Okay, so that's why we learn tools first. Then we learn teaching. And I know some people say, but Nazrin, I can already teach. I've been teaching all for 20 years. I've been training for 20 years. Good, no problem. Bring that experience. And what we do is we show you how to transition online. There are a few things that when we do face-to-face cannot be done online. So we need to learn how do we interact with the audience using our voice, using our visuals, using our vocals, and using versatility. Right? So these are the 4 main things that we talk about: visual, verbal, vocal, and versatility. So most everybody understands these 3. What about versatility? It is adaptation. It's the ability to adapt very fast to different types of audiences, different types of questions. And what Farah just did just now, notice she did not panic. She was like, she just kept a straight face. Okay, I apologize for that, everyone. Okay, let's move on. That's it. Right? So keeping calm, keeping a cool head about you is very important, especially when you're dealing with technology. That being said, you need to also understand what are your modes of engagement. This is something that I struggled with when I first started out. There are 4 modes of engagement when you teach. Okay, so number one is a sage. The sage is the storyteller, the one who inspires, the one who uses stories and experiences to be able to get you to want to pay attention. The second one is the facilitator. The facilitator is someone who asks questions, gets people to be active in the class, gets them to share their opinions. The third one is teacher. So what does the teacher do? Teacher says, listen to me, I'm going to share new information to you. Okay, so understand this, and then the teacher will test you to see whether you remember and whether you understand. Okay, retention and comprehension. And then the last one is instructor. Instructor is someone who takes you step by step through a process, okay, teaches you a specific technique. So each and every one of these modes of engagement have a different tone of voice, have a different visual, have a different verbal and different vocal. If you don't understand that, what happens is you use the same tone for all, and it gets confusing for the audience. So that's what we cover within teaching. Last one is techniques. So techniques is what we call learning experience design. How do you design an online course from scratch? Because you cannot transfer a face-to-face course online. You can, it will not be effective. You have to transform it, which means in many cases you have to go back to scratch, start from learning objectives all over again, create the learning plan, then create the activities. Because if you expect to copy and paste a face-to-face activity online, you will find it very, very difficult to run. So as long as you're hitting the same learning objectives, you're hitting the same learning points, then any activity will do. And we'll show you the different types of things. One of them, interestingly, a lot of VLCs love this, is that there are 4 types of activities. We call them ACES, A-C-E-S. So A stands for analyze activities, which are for problem solving. The second one is C, which is challenge activities, where you remove certain resources, time resource. You give them, okay, you need to do this before within 15 seconds, go. So you increase the pressure. So time resource. Second one is an information resource. Okay, guys, here's the activity. You only get 3 pieces of information. This, and this. No questions. Go. So you increase you reduce information resource. Okay. And then what happens next is you also reduce, okay, information, time pressure, and what's the other one? Resource. Okay, you only get this much material to work with, no more. You cannot add on, you must work with this. And that's what we call a challenge activity. The third one is an energize activity. Energize activities, usually, of course, we can still learn from it, but it's more fun. It's like, okay, I'm going to ask you, everyone, get ready. In 30 seconds, go and find something that's blue in color. Ready, set, go. And they run off. Physically, actually get up and go and find something that's blue. They bring back something that's blue. Oh, cool, cool. Okay. So who got managed to get blue, something object blue? And then you go, okay, let's try something difficult. Find something that's gold in color, and they have to run off and they find something gold. Now, this is awesome because sometimes they actually forget what they're wearing. So there was a guy who was wearing a blue t-shirt. And he's like, I can't find anything that's blue. I can't find anything that's blue. And I said, Donald, look at what you're wearing. And he goes, oh no. So these are what we call energized activities. And the last one is a socialized activity for the S. And socialized activities are when you actually interact with another human being in the class and you share personal information. So what's considered personal information? It can be, you know, who you are, your experience, your beliefs, or it can be your opinions. It can be your ideas when you brainstorm together, but it must build that bond between people. So in the third one, which is techniques, we teach you how to build a course. How do you activate a course? Cool. And usually the course, the certification has a few versions. There is the part-time version, which runs over the span of 1 month. Week 1 is the prep week, where we work with you on WhatsApp only. Okay, so prep week helps you to get ready for the classes. If I throw you into the classes immediately, you will get confused. So we need to slowly get you up to speed. There'll be self-studies, there'll be videos to watch, there'll be PDFs to read, but it will be facilitated in the WhatsApp group. So we'll have discussions there. Week 2 and week 3 is when we actually do the classes. There are 6 classes. So traditionally, how I do it is Monday, Wednesday, Friday night. So it's anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on how many questions we have. So that's the week 2 and week 3. So week 1's done, week 2 and week 3, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, Monday, Wednesday and Friday. That's 6 classes. After that's done, then the final week is when you do your final assessment webinar. That is when you do your exam. Your final exam is you need to take all the principles that we've taught you and then apply it in a 1 hour webinar for a public audience. Public audience means that you do this with people you don't know. People will come randomly, like today, right? Today we have an audience. Yes. And then they will ask you questions. Sometimes they'll challenge you, all sorts of stuff. Because the way I was educated in learning and development is we can do like a TTT where you learn to become a trainer and then you present in front of your trainer and in front of your classmates.
Yes.
That's what we call a simulation. In martial arts, that's called a tournament. So you get a gold medal when you fight in a tournament. But does that guarantee you can fight a street fight? Not necessarily. So in the VLC, that final assessment webinar, you do it in a street fight, not in a simulation. Okay, your classmates will be there to cheer you on, but there'll be unknown people in the crowd as well to give you that extra pressure. And that's basically that for the part-time version, which we call Journey, VLC Journey. There's another one called VLC Express, which is still 1 week prep, 3 days class, and still 1 hour webinar. There's another version called VLC Sprint, which is 1 week prep, 2 days class, Tapi kepala berasap lah, 2 days class, and you have to complete 6 assignments within those 2 days, and still that 1 hour webinar for your final assessment. So far, the part-time version has done quite well with a lot of trainers because they don't have time to attend, like they have work to do. So most of the time it's been the part-time version, the night classes. When we do in-house for clients, we usually sell the 3-day version. Okay, the 1 week prep, 3 days solid, and then 1 hour after. We've also tried the sprint version, but we found that only the strong survive, because imagine 2 days worth of just classes and assignments. Okay, you have to complete the assignments, and then still getting ready for the webinar. So that's 3 versions there. The most popular version is the part-time version that takes about a month. So does that cover what you expected me to cover?
Yes, it does.
And more.
Okay, but okay, upon having this talk show, right, Leno on the Run did some research on the questions of VLC. All right.
Okay.
So we covered that what is VLC. So second, is VLC similar as Train the Trainers?
Yeah, sure. But the difference is that with VLC, we recommend that you must have at least a training background or a teaching background, because we're not going to go back and teach you how to train. What we're doing is we're helping you to pivot. So you already have training experience. You already have teaching experience. You've faced the crowd before. Face to face, you faced the crowd before. We need to take those skills and transform into online. That's it. We're not going to go back and teach you basics, TNA, what is TNA, adult learning theories. We're not going to do that. So VLC, if you want to join, then make sure that you already have a training background. You've done training before.
Okay,
that's
so
best. That gets you the best result.
Okay, so definitely there's a requirements that you have to have training experience, but then is it like at least 1 year or at least 6 months? It doesn't matter.
I think 1 year would be nice. 1 year would be nice, but the fact that you understand what it's like facing an audience. We have had people who have never been trainers before come join the VLC. They succeeded, they passed, but it was hell for them. It was hell. So, I don't understand this. So we'll still guide you through, and you'll still have examples, because you can watch the previous webinars from all of the previous VLCs. It's on the website. We have about 200 hours worth of webinars where you can see examples of how they done it. So that's also learning for you if you are starting from scratch. But the fact is, easier for experienced trainers, a bit more difficult if you're starting from fresh. It's a headache. How was it for you, Farah? Now I ask you a question. How was it for you?
Frankly, it was challenging because I never trained before. And that time I don't even have my TTT, so I started with VLC, to be honest.
Right.
All right. So it was challenging when it comes, especially on the last presentation day, and everyone have to come, and you start to getting nervous because you never have a training before. So, but Alhamdulillah, that time I was in Miss Nurul Best, so everything went well.
Okay, good.
It's challenging, but then it builds you up for the next process of what to do next in training industry.
Very good. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, the next question is, do we have to renew our VLC?
No.
No.
Nope. That's
it's
it.
Forever. Forever.
Once you get certified, all you have to do then is you have to practice. And if you're wondering, how do I practice alone? Well, then join the community. Our professional learning community is called the VLC family. And up to date, I know, Farah, you can confirm because you're in the community. It's mad in there. They help each other out with no request for anything, right? They're just happy to help you out.
Yeah.
So yes, the answer is no. You don't need to renew.
I concur with this, with Nazrin, that actually it's really mad there. Like every week or every month, every 2 weeks, or especially every month, they will have people teaching you Excel, PowerPoint,
Right.
and to use new tools such as Butter. Okay,
well, the fact is, the good news is, if you join the community, you don't get good morning messages. You guys know you have your WhatsApp groups. You got good morning, or good morning graphics.
Yes.
We don't have those, and we insist to not have those. So it's a professional learning community we do have jokes sometimes, but most of the time it's very straightforward. We help each other out. So no good morning messages.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. All right. Okay. This question from the floor, which is
Cool.
like, what is the value added objective of VLC? Is not internationally recognized like TTT, right?
Correct. It is not recognized at all. Nobody recognizes us.
Huh? Okay.
Yep,
And
that's
then
it. Nobody recognizes us. But we are endorsed by the GTF, the Global Trainers Federation. So we didn't ask for it. They came. They said we would like to look at your course. Can we audit it? So I said okay. And the founder came in, and we didn't even finish the course yet. He says, "Okay, I've seen enough. You you are officially endorsed by the GTF." So we are endorsed by companies. The companies that have sent their staff training with us, we are endorsed by them. But no, we're not internationally recognized.
yes, I hope that covers Zoe's question.
Hmm?
And then Belle asks, is there a certificate to be a trainer for VLC or any prerequisite for that?
Belle, you are here. Well, the only prerequisite is that we request that you come with at least some training background, some teaching background, to make your life a little bit easier. Because if you're starting from scratch, then you're going to find it difficult. So that's I'll say that. Zoe is asking for the content of the course. So if you just visit the website here, also in the link, it has the content right there.
Oh,
All right, so that's the...
Sorry,
yes?
Cik Nazrin, your website is corrupted.
No, just click advanced, give forward. I can do one more thing for you.
It's what you call it. They say it's a connection not private. Attackers might try to steal your information.
That's right. So let me give you another one. Try that one. Does that work?
Yeah.
Cool.
VLC will teach you on overcoming what link can open and what not. So yeah. Okay, cool. So okay, the next question is, VLC is known in 21. Is there any requirements to maintain as VLC?
No. Same question, which was, do we need to renew? The answer is no.
Okay, because in TTT they have to do like certain hours to maintain.
That's right.
Yeah, but in VLC there's no need to do that, right?
No need for that.
All right.
It's one off only.
So next, VLC is known in 21 countries. Can I apply a trainer job in those countries as VLC?
If you already are certified as a VLC, I don't expect, okay, so for example, right, in Malaysia, it's quite strict. You need to have a TTT, HRDC, things like that. Other countries, like when I go to Brunei, when I go to Cambodia, they don't ask for the certificates. They will test you out to see if you're good enough, and then you run the course. They don't actually ask for any of these. So when we say 21 countries, I cannot pukul rata and say all countries are like that. So the idea is case by case basis lah. As far as I know, other countries don't require it as much as we do. So the answer is yes and no lah. Because VLC is not recognized internationally, we only have 21. We have participants from 21 countries. That's what it means. It's not the countries themselves who recognize us. So the answer to your question is, if you apply for a job, I think what you're asking is like, you know, the certificate 4 from Australia, where if you have that, then you can apply for PR. So if that's what you're asking, the answer is no. It doesn't allow you for that.
Okay. I'm not sure about the PR because this question I get it from a group of traders. Okay. So definitely it's not recognized internationally, but as Nazrin said, you can try your luck in Cambodia and Brunei, right? Brunei?
No, I'm saying they don't mind. They don't ask
they
for
don't
it.
mind.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So if you can prove yourself, your prowess there, then they will take you. That's how I've survived there, at least.
For the whole course is 600 ringgit, is it?
It is 606 ringgit 60 cents.
Why 666 leh?
That's a longer story. but that's pretty much the standard.
It's for lifetime now.
Yeah, well, no hidden cost. That's it. Sekali bayar,
Like
sekali laru, and then get hit with your final exam, and that's it.
Which means you'll be a member for life. And then what about all those do you all exchange training ideas and opportunities?
Yes, if you're in the VLC family, that's what we've seen so far. It is not a obligation, but it is by sheer sharing. They want to help each other. So the answer is yes. And I normally share opportunities in there as well as when I get them.
So how large is your community now?
Only about 200 plus. The total VLC count is 400, but only 230 have joined the community.
Is it an international community?
The ones that have joined, yes. So we have Canada, Australia, no, not Australia, Canada, US, Russia, Singapore, and Pakistan, India.
Okay, so which means
South Africa. So just out of the 21, only a few that is joined.
So once you have graduated, as to say you can become a facilitator for this VLC course yourself, right?
No. When you're certified as a VLC only, as a virtual learncaster only.
But I see you have a few facilitators.
That's right. We have 17 VLC facilitators who have been licensed to be able to teach the course.
What does it take to become one of them?
You need 1 year mentoring under me. When you complete your VLC, you need to make sure that all of your assignments got 100 marks, full marks, including your final assessment.
And what's the financial benefit of becoming a VLC trainer in that sense?
Facilitator.
Yeah.
Financial benefit is, I guess, you get to run your own courses. You get to run the VLC on your own.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Nazrin?
Yes.
Mr. Nazrin, I'm Julius. I think you remembered me from the alimony of TTT.
Hi, Julius.
Hi, how are you guys?
I'm good today.
Okay. I've been trained in TTT, and then also I have the certified from Mr. Davidson. Okay. All right. So what I'm doing, just to keep me engaged, or better way to say, not to get these things forget, I do some voluntary teaching. I mean, like free teaching to some kindergarten teachers and some school pupils. Because I choose this category because I don't want to choose the expert where I end up being taught by them. Okay. Right. Okay. So and gradually, can I upgrade this into paid courses?
Yes, you can. In fact, if you're thinking about if you're talking about like HRDC, TTT, or something like that, which I don't think you are, I know that now they have accredited trainers. You have to, every year you have to submit credit hours and things like that. Those work only for adults. So I suspect kindergarten teachers are also considered adults, so that shouldn't be a problem. But if you're talking about, can I upgrade what I teach right now for free into paid courses? The answer is definitely yes.
Yes.
Do so.
Okay. Can I use this is just, it might be a silly question, but it's good for me to know. Okay. Can I use this VLC logo at the background?
Yeah, because are you a certified VLC?
I went to this Mr. Dave's course and I passed the exams.
Did you receive an email from him telling him you got your certificate and you got the logo?
Yes. I think so. Belle, can you help me with this?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So Mr. Juras and I am actually from VLC 27. So we actually gotten the email and also the badge, which is provided, the micro badge. So Mr. Juras has also passed and he has gotten his certificate.
And the answer is yes. Then the answer is yes.
Okay, okay. Well,
Because
thank you.
because
Awesome,
because
Bel.
I remember processing your certificate.
Oh, okay.
That's why I asked, did you get the email?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, then we can just run. I mean, start doing this course in a lower level, lah. I mean,
That's right.
as a
No problem.
beginner,
No problem
as
at
a
all. You,
beginner.
I wouldn't say you're a beginner. You're already quite a senior trainer in that sense. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. There's no problem.
Okay, and another thing, Mrs. Zainuddin, and you say licensed VLC, and it's going to be coached directly by you for a year. I think you just mentioned few times.
Yep.
Right? So, what is the difference between myself and that trained trainer?
Okay, so the VLC facilitators like Davidson, like Anand, like Nurul, they can teach the course. I created the course. They can teach the course. They can create VLCs. They can create VLCs.
Okay, okay. I mean, you authorize them to duplicate.
I authorize them. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. Thanks.
Mr. Nazrin, if you don't mind, just to add on, just now you did mention to actually be a trainer for to actually train VLC courses. It's 1 year mentoring under you. At the same time, is to achieve full marks on all of the assessments.
Yes.
But before that, you also did mention that it needs a bit of at least have a training background. Can I get to know in probably in context, like is it a 6 months or 1 year kind of training background, or I mean, at least what kind of prerequisite? Because I'm very
okay. I don't have that prerequisite there, but all of the VLC facilitators have at least 10 years under the belt. So there is no current requirement for that.
Okay.
But before they came to the VLC, they were already very senior trainers already.
I see. So what would be your advice if, let's say, I'm someone very new and I would like to start off something like this? Apart from, of course, me constantly doing trainings, doing sessions, nevertheless, webinar, talk shows or not, what would be your advice on that, before I could actually start on this entire, to be able to be a trainer for VLC?
Okay. You're not going to like this word.
Okay.
Practice.
That's a very fair word, actually.
Just practice. So the more hours you get under your belt, the more experience you have, then the easier it is for you to be able to move on to other opportunities. That being said, the VLC facilitators right now the number is stuck at 17 because we have more than enough. The demand is not as much as the supply. So not all VLC facilitators are running courses. There's only a few. And even the one in Qatar is quite slow right now. We've run only one so far in Qatar. So now we are re-strategizing to be able to do more in the Middle East. But it's only 2 of them in Middle East handling that.
So the reason also why I think before that I did share, because I realized that VLC was actually given in more than just one language. It was given in, I understand that Arabic and Tamil is coming up. The Mandarin session.
Mandarin definitely coming up in
September,
yes.
27th. Yes,
okay.
I followed very closely on that. So that was the reason why I actually thought of reaching out, because it's something that I thought of looking into on the Mandarin, to provide VLC in Mandarin sessions, because I think I've mentioned previously before also, I thought of going over to China. So nevertheless, locally to assist local Chinese, or even expanding VLC into other regions.
Well, we've had that conversation already, and I've already connected you, so have fun.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a question from Jerry Chong. Do you have plans to partner with any learning institutions or universities? Referring to this statement on the website, we have also partnered with Monash, University of Malaysia, and UCSI to run VLC for their clients.
Yes, so Monash and UCSI is the effort of Davidson Abhishekam, VLC facilitator, Davidson. So in terms of plans, we don't have plans. It is the universities who come to us. So we would like to, first, number one is we want to serve the Malaysian training public. right? And when people say they look at the course, there's a few things that are confusing about the VLC. Number one is that it's not recognized by anyone, and they go, must not be good. Okay. Number two is, why so cheap? Must not be good. Okay, I'm good. The reason I designed it in the first place was because last year, my friends who were trainers were losing jobs. They literally I was losing jobs, they were losing jobs, and my own coach had to pivot to selling, what the heck was he doing? A sambal ikan bilis rendang. Ikan bilis rendang. He had to start doing that from his own mother's recipe because he could no longer find work as a trainer. So the VLC was created as a result of wanting to help trainer friends get back on their feet. My thought was, okay, I run this 2 or 3 times and that's it. I'm sure nobody wants it after that. But I did not realize that it would get so far. We are now almost at 40 cycles, 40 cohorts, coming up to that 40 number. So it was unintentional to build a community or build a fantastic certification, which is why we don't need or look for recognition. Anybody want to give us? Fine, we like it. But the intention is still the same, to help people upskill, to help trainers earn again. And one day when people don't want the VLC anymore, I will pack it up, I'll delete it from my hard drive, and the number of VLCs stay constant. If it's 500, that's it. We don't have any more new. But until people still want it, then we'll offer it. So I don't know, did I answer the question? Did I actually answer the question? So no, for learning institutions and universities, USM has approached us. We are currently working with Mara to have a different version, slightly different version of the VLC for lecturers. Yeah, that's basically it. The others have asked. Oh, Institute Aminuddin Baki has reached out to us as well. But again, that's pretty much it. We don't go looking for them; they come looking for us. And I think that's interesting because why? We don't want to promote ourselves and say we are the only option. There are many other certifications out there from my friends who have also run. So if you don't go to VLC, there are other options. But the idea is this: we need to pivot to come back and be able to earn again. So that's been the one and only core purpose. Without that, then what we're just a money-making machine. And we're not comfortable with that. Okay, sorry, Farah, back to you.
Thank you so much for the explanation by Jerry, to Jerry. And Kong asked, Davidson has just run a VLC seminar. Is this the same as what you have just talked about? Yes.
Okay, so yes, Davidson is a VLC facilitator. And as a VLC facilitator, he can run a full course where in that full course, you get certified. Yeah, but if you say a seminar, that means he comes in for 1 or 2 hours, then what it is you're not getting the full version. You're probably just getting small bits and pieces, but he's still helping you to be able to teach online. So that one does not get you a certificate.
Okay. And from right now, how much is the exact cost of the program, since there is 2 different brochures posted on the website?
Okay, what is the price of on the brochures? Both brochures say 606 ringgit 60 cents.
It's the same price right now?
It's the same price.
Okay. So moving forward with another question. Thank you so much for asking questions.
Thank
if
you.
you have any, please do ask. Okay, so the next question is, can I pay 8 installments for VLC certification?
You need to speak to the VLC facilitator and then ask them. There's nothing wrong with asking. So the answer is you need to speak to them. Whoever's running it, speak to them nicely and say, I want to join. I really want to join. I really want to get benefit from this. Can I please pay in installments? Ask them.
Okay, Mr. Nazri, this amount, what they were asking for installment and all these things, that 666.66, right?
No, it's 600. It's 606 ringgit 60 cents.
Or 606.60.
606, yeah.
It's not 666, the Roman
no,
number.
it's not 666. It's 606 60 cents.
Okay. And the other thing, I know that it's already full. I mean, they're talking about that VLC certification, certified.
What's full?
the 17 people of these certified
Oh, you mean the
trainers,
facilitators? Yeah.
facilitators.
Right now we are hovering at that number. We don't need any more just yet.
Okay, that means they are considered, I would say, like employed at the VLC lah.
No,
Something
you're
like
not.
that. Something like that, right?
Not
Oh, no.
employed. Not employed. They have been given permission to run the VLC course.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
What is
And
the
I'm going to say this right now. Quite a few of them are better than me.
okay?
If you
Am
go
I
for their course, you go like, hey, this
okay?
is better than nothing.
I would congratulate that for you because your students have taken you. All right.
That's been the dream.
Yes, good. Okay, I just another questions. You see, the training that I'm doing to the children's and kindergarten teachers, and the training that you are doing, and you said I can use the VLC logo at the back.
When I say you can use the VLC logo, it means that you can represent yourself as a VLC.
Okay.
Not that you say, oh, I'm teaching VLC to people.
No, I can't say that.
No.
I can't say that.
But you can say that you are a VLC and that you are teaching other people to teach online. That's okay. That's okay.
I'm going more towards how to be familiarized with online buttons and features and things like that. Not to train them to become another trainee.
Okay, cool.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and next question. I saw various VLC advertisements, but the trainer is different. Will the method change according to the trainers?
No, that's why they need to mentor under me for a year to make sure that we have a consistent. So Belle goes for Belle. You went with Davidson.
I went with Davidson.
Okay, Belle goes with Davidson, and then Shimi goes with Anand, and then Farah, you went with Nurul. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So I can confirm because I monitor them as well. Well, I can confirm two things. Number one is that they use the same methodology. And in the Telegram group, when we talk, we understand each other because it's the same methodology. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I can also confirm some of them are much better than me because they get it and they're just good. They're just good. So I shouldn't be saying that, right? I shouldn't be saying that. But the fact is, if it's true, it's true. And I attend their classes and I go, whoa, I didn't know you could teach it like this. Right? So I teach it one way and then they teach the same methods with different analogies, different stories. And I go, can I steal that? And they go, okay. So we actually learn from each other to improve our own delivery of the VLC, even though I created the VLC, but they have ideas, they have creativity, and we learn from each other.
So as a VLC, can they just go refresh it to any of the VLC facilitator or they
Same
can't?
question. Okay, so what I've instituted is that if you have certified VLC, you got your certificate, you can request. The key word is request from a VLC facilitator. Can I come to refresh at your session? So that if they allow it, okay. If they don't allow it, then you'll have to find someone else. Okay. But if you come to me, most of the time I'll say yes. So even if, like, say, Belle went to Davidson, Farah went to Nurul, if you come to me and say, can I refresh under you? I will always say yes. Yeah, provided you show me a certificate. Yeah, that's number one. Number two is if you do come, it is for free, but you are also expected to help with the class. You're also expected, sometimes we will ask you questions. So Farah, remember when you were learning the VLC, what was your experience when you went through this? So what Farah will do is Farah will share her experiences and she'll share some of her ideas and insights and how she applied it in her classes. So you can come for free, but you're also expected to help with the participants as well.
Mr. Nazri, thank you.
Yes.
And can I join also? But I haven't checked my timing and schedule.
I can.
Okay,
You're asking me?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Right now, I don't have any planned because I have quite a lot of projects coming up, which is why I'm happy that Anand and Davidson are doing the next few ones. I only do when none of the facilitators want to do that particular month. So this is the unspoken rule, right? They all know that every month we must have a VLC certification at least once. Why? Because we want to cater for the audience. Number two, from a branding perspective, we want to remain seen. You see, we don't pay for advertising. VLC, we have not paid 1 cent for advertising ever since it was born. So you only see us sharing on Facebook or Twitter, on Instagram, or LinkedIn, things like that. But we've never paid for branding at all. So what we do is we make sure that every month there must be at least one VLC certification, one cohort, so that we remain in the public eye. So if none of the facilitators, I will ask, siapa nak buat bulan September ni in our small WhatsApp group? Who's doing September? No answer. Click. Okay. So Nazrin will do. I will run one, even though there's 3 or 4 people, I will run one, because we need to have that top of mind. But right now everybody's running, so I step back for a while.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, does that answer the question? If you because you've seen how Davidson does it, Anand's is coming up. You can ask him. His is in September. I think he's coming up soon. So you can ask him, can I join? When you see Nurul's or you see mine, come and PM me, and then we will set you up for that.
Okay.
So the answer is yes.
Okay,
when I'm running it.
Thank you. So I'll check with Mr. Davidson and Anand as well.
Yes, Davidson's running quite a few these next few months. He's experimenting with different versions.
Okay.
He usually runs the sprint version, the 2-day version, weekends. So Saturday, memang hammer lah kan. Belle, what was your experience with Davidson kan? Kepala berasap tak?
You see, the thing with Mr. Davidson, he is very, very clear to tell you that the entire program was specifically designed, okay, that you go through every single stage. It was meant to design that you will have a certain amount of pressure. It was meant to design in such way that in a way, humans are just like this, you know. If you are not given that cake, you won't force yourself to move forward, because we are constantly in such comfort zones. So Mr. Davidson's course and the entire time, it was very engaging, but at the same time, it's also very challenging, especially for those that has no experience with either technology or even different platforms, because there are so many platforms that it's out there, and he will introduce a few, which is very, very nice to know. But at the same time, I think the course was also very nicely designed, because it also take care on those people that are really not tech savvy, that they have the low tax, low tools, not to say low, I mean simple tools to be
I know
used.
what you mean.
So it was very nice.
Thank you for that. So
of course, you know what I mean, because you designed the course.
Well, the thing is, right, so we've experimented with a few versions, and it seems to work in different ways. And look at the quality it's producing, you guys. So it doesn't say that one is better than the other. It does say that there's a different level of pressure, there's a different level of engagement. But most of the time, all VLCs turn out the same anyway. How do we know? We look at your final assessment. So if we see no difference between the quality of a final assessment from Davidson and from Anand and from Nazrin and from Nurul, then we know we've done our jobs.
Mr. Nazrin?
Yes.
Another question to you, since you are the main person who responsible for designing this VLC, because after the training, after being trained from Mr. Dave, I was checking with the invigilator, I think Rosanna,
Yep.
So I was asking, should there be any extra trainings in future, extra syllabus or whatever for a basic editing video? In fact, you see, this VLC is to train people virtually.
Correct.
So editing is whether you like or you don't like, you have to have editing knowledge, basically. So I think it's good idea to have this editing syllabus in a small portion to get a basic things to train or add in VLC as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Well, if you remember, on the very first class in the VLC, we showed you that the VLC is focused on synchronous learning. Remember the spectrum of e-learning? So you had from podcasts all the way until LXP, Learning Experience Platform. Right? In the middle, there was a circle that says VLC only focuses on this.
Okay.
Right? So that's the reason why we don't talk about video editing. We don't teach video editing in there. But Mr. Julius, are you in our Telegram group?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because if you
I
are,
have so much of group after since these
Okay.
since pandemic.
well, if you are, then you know you just missed one video editing course, which was run by who ran it? Does anybody remember?
Amal.
It was
Dr. Amal,
Amal,
yeah.
Dr. Amal from IIUM. She's a lecturer at IIUM. In
Okay.
fact, IIUM was sent 10 lecturers to become VLCs. They are all engineering lecturers. So they're in the Telegram group. They have been running free courses backwards and forwards for our VLC friends.
Okay.
So you
Right.
actually missed one, a free
Okay.
one pula tu.
Yeah,
I think
she is having another detailed one, but that one is paid. But it's
that was
not
paid.
it's a bit it's 50 ringgit, so it's, the price is
That's
fair enough.
still not bad. That's not bad.
Okay. All right. So
So that to answer the question, that's why it's not in the VLC course, because we wanted to get you up and ready quickly. Video editing is more for asynchronous or e-learning, when you want to create e-learning courses online.
Okay.
Right? So the VLC focuses on the synchronous learning, which is live, between you and someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, correct. Because they've been teaching on techniques and another thing is engagement, how to get people and how to present yourself be more attractive in front of camera in terms of lighting, backgrounds, and all these things, and in terms of the mic, cameras, and all these things. So these indirectly relate us to be on, for example, a webinar or YouTuber or things like that, where I'm considering so to be a YouTuber or any other platform where you're going to teach, start your video there in any platform. So you need that editing knowledge.
Yes.
So that's why I was curious. In fact, I'm learning online, free online courses. But I would think if anybody can teach it, teach the assessment.
Check with Dr. Amal. She in fact, we have a new VLC, Winnie. Winnie does. She's very young. She's my teacher. She's my video editing teacher. So she's younger than me. If you have my phone number, get in touch with me. I'll get you in touch with her for her next course. She charges very cheap.
All right.
In fact, the first batch of VLCs I invited to her course. She was shocked. She was like, all the old people coming to learn video editing from her. At the time, she charged 30 ringgit. No, last year in the pandemic. So now she still charges, for me, cheap for that kind of knowledge. So get in touch with me, and I'll get you in touch with her.
Okay. All right. If it's possible, please allow me into the other group.
In the email,
Telegram
you receive, there should be that link to the Telegram group.
Okay, sure. I'll get it joined. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next question.
This is the most amount of questions I've gotten in any webinar, no?
Okay, so will the method be updated? Depends on what trainers need, because nowadays there's so many applications, right? The one that we just know, the butter, will it be taught in VLC as well, or is it after you join VLC, in the Telegram group?
I don't know what the question actually means, but if it's asking, does the VLC evolve? The answer is yes. Every session I run, if there is something new to add on, I'll add on. So for example, during the pandemic, in 2020, in video conferencing tools, we talked only about Zoom, MS Teams, WebEx, and Google Meet. Now we also talk about virtual spaces like Gather Town. We talk about Kumo Space. We talk about Air Meet. So it's spread quite a bit as well. So it's not just, it doesn't stay still, right? As we learn, we introduce as well. That's why we recommend you come and refresh, because you'll find something new in every session. But the basic concepts don't change, right? The concept that there are 8 tools don't change. The concept that there are 4 engagement modes don't change. The concept that there are 4 types of activities don't change. So, but there will be always something new that we discard some things, but the principles remain the same. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like VLC evolved by time. So if this is up to trend, so of course they're gonna share it to the when they are doing the certification, right?
Okay, yep.
All right. So next thing is, what are the benefits I get as VLC other than certification?
Benefits, I guess you get certified, you get a digital badge, you get a certificate, you get to join our community of like-minded, like-hearted, crazy people. And I run free classes called VLC Plus that expand upon those concepts. So far I've run 2, but these people keep running their own. I don't have time to slot in mine one. So I will also do free classes to expand on certain concepts in VLC. And that's I've done 2 so far. I have about a few more planned for the rest of the year. What other benefits are there? I think for what you get, the benefit is you get to earn online again. You get to actually come back into the industry.
Exactly. So it's more like the learning process is continuously, even though you are certified, because you'll be in the community. So there will always be learning by the VLCians, certified VLC, the Telegram. So, okay. And if I have paid, but I cannot make it to on certain days, can I proceed to another batch?
That is something you have to discuss with your VLC facilitator. Tell them exactly what's happening with you, your professional or personal life, and then we'll arrange for that. Usually, if you're transferring from one session to another, there is a fee that you have to pay. Because why? Now the trainer, so let's just say you're transferring from Davidson to my session. So Davidson has effectively lost your fee.
Yeah.
He's lost the income from that. So you have to pay a transfer fee to get to my session, and that transfer fee goes to Davidson as compensation. Okay, so the transfer fee is 101 ringgit 10 cent.
I like these numbers you are giving out. Okay, fair enough. Okay, can I use, this is for from a business owner.
Okay.
So can I use VLC methodology for my agents? Because you know, business owners sometimes they are sharing about products, like Mary Kay, they share during Zooms, and then they have their own like brochures or anything when they share like video recording, so they can use the same methodology for their agents.
Okay, if you're asking the question, I don't know who asked this question. If you're asking the question, can I apply VLC not as a trainer, but in briefings, product briefs? The answer is yes. Because why? Remember the mode of engagement, one of them is teacher. What is the teacher's purpose? Is to make sure the participants remember and understand. Retention and comprehension. Right? So you're not storytelling as a sage, you're not instructing in techniques like an instructor, you're not facilitating for people to discuss ideas. No, you are teaching. So if you're teaching, then that's perfect for your briefing sessions. When you brief people, okay, here's a new product, let me explain what this product is to you. Okay, now you tell me what you understand about this product, and then you get confirmation. So the role there, you'll be using the teacher mode to be able to get them to understand or remember and understand. Retention and comprehension. So yes, definitely.
Awesome. So how am I being graded through this certification?
Oh, that's a secret. But when you do the assignments and when you do the final assessment, you actually get in the assignments, you get a sample from a previous participant who scored 100. So you get to see, okay, this is the benchmark. So you have to do something similar in order to get that. So like a sample answer lah. You get a sample answer. If you can recreate that, that means that you have the ability to actually do it. Okay, so that's one. Number two, you will get rubrics. So if anybody's not familiar with what a rubric is an academic term to mean criteria. So what are the criteria to score 100? So 10% dapat apa, 10% dapat apa, 20% dapat apa, 15% dapat apa, for things like that. So you will be scored based on application of the VLC principles. Right? So for example, if I say that with a teacher mode, you must use a logical monotone of voice. But when you do it in the webinar, you use an emotional multi-tone voice when you're in teacher mode. Then you will not get scores for that. Like that.
Okay, so it depends on the rubric, and good news is it has sample.
Yeah, you get samples.
Okay, and Is there any limits in age to join?
Not that I've seen. The limit is, of course, it's better to have teaching experience, but the oldest we've had is 80. The youngest we've had, I think 22, maybe less, maybe just graduated. But we haven't had anybody younger than that, I think. So there is no age limit. Just like Prime Minister of Malaysia, no age limit.
I agree. Okay, will VLC be conducted face-to-face once pandemic is over?
Never.
It's purely online, okay?
It is purely online.
Okay, I see from the dates it is almost a few weeks to complete the VLC certification. May I know why?
Well, number one, because that's the part-time version. So the part-time version is classes at night. So in the daytime, you go to work, you do your work, or you have your classes, your own training classes to run, and then you come at night. So that's why it was originally designed like that. But since then, we have created the express version and the sprint version, and it's not just the journey version anymore. But on the website, the default is the journey version because that's the most popular one.
Okay, so it has 3 versions, all right?
Yes.
Can I put up certified VLC on LinkedIn?
Yes, you can.
Under
Yes, you can,
the
definitely, yeah.
endorsement, right? Under
Yes.
the, yeah, okay. Is there any recordings I can access if I miss the day, if I miss the class? So it's under repository.
The answer is also yes. So if you miss classes because you have other engagements, then you have in the learning management system, you actually have the recorded classes that you missed, and you have access to it for 1 year.
So after 1 year, is it will they remove it?
After 1 year, they will remove it. Yes, we will remove it.
Okay, okay. Will I get hard copy certificate?
No. Let's save the trees. No. You'll get a PDF version of the certificate, and you can print it out yourself. What's important the certificate is your badge number. So everybody gets a unique serial number, and your registration on the website shows that you are a certified VLC. So nobody can pretend to be a certified VLC.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's best to have online, so next time you can just print it out. Okay, last question from the floor and from the research is there a continuation program after VLC?
We don't plan for it. So there is no continuation. After you're done with the VLC, congratulations, go and earn. So there is no level 2, level 3 because I didn't plan it that way. Like I said, it was my pandemic baby to help trainers pivot online. However, we do recommend that you go to our friends. Like for example, if you want to deep dive in a concept, let's just say, remember the modes of engagement we said there are 4: sage, facilitator, teacher, and instructor. Let's just say you want to deep dive into facilitator. Okay, so you can go to one of our friends. His name is Juara Bahrudin. He runs the Certified Virtual Learning Facilitator, the CVLF. And the CVLF is actually recognized, is recognized and endorsed by DRB Highcom University. So if you join that, you actually get certified by the university itself. So he will teach you learning facilitation skills. How do you do it online? If you prefer overseas, then you can go to one of our friends, my teacher as well, Ganesh Dalvi, who is based in India. He runs a program called FOLKS, FOLKS, Facilitating Online Learning Knowledge Sharing. Okay, facilitating online learning and knowledge sharing. So the "and" is in the middle. It's called FOLKS, and it's easy to make payment because he gives you like a link to a credit card processor. So you just pay. You can pay via PayPal or whatever, and it's quite cheap. It's quite cheap. And when we attended, we were blown away because we never thought you could facilitate a virtual session without slides. This guy can do 2 hours straight, no slides at all, just activities. And we go like, sudah 2 jam juga. So I highly recommend. We don't have our own programs that say, okay, level 1, level 2, level 3, but we recommend you go to our friends because they have other skill sets that you can pick up.
So it's Fox and CVLF.
CVLF. So CVLF is local. You want to look up his name. His name is Rosihan Juara Baharudin. Unless everyone does not know who this person is. Okay, so we have, I think that's his, yeah, that's how you spell his name. Go and find him on Facebook or LinkedIn. And then in India, it is Ganesh Dalvi. So Ganesh Dalvi runs the Folks program.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, Nazreen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have missed one question from Kong. Which softwares adopt Premiere, or I think this is for video editing?
Yeah, this is for video editing. So I will not be able to answer that question.
Okay. So I have finished my question from my research. And any questions from the floor before we end up the session?
So far, no. So is there any other continuous version of this promotion?
Sorry, what's the question? Is there any other?
Continue version of this? Is this promotion video ends from you, or just going to start the actual one later?
I'm not sure what the question is. Are you asking about this session right now? This is our sharing webinar. So I think this is it for the VLC. This is it, because next week I think Farah will have a different guest to talk about something else.
Okay, all right. This is just to promote the VLC, consider.
Yes. Also because a lot of people have been asking questions. So Farah thought it'd be nice to have an actual session. I haven't done this in a long time. The last time I did an actual session like this, a Q&A on VLC, was 1 year ago. So it was a nice refresher to be able to do this.
So happy to have you here, Nazreen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there is no any question, before that, I want to share that Nazreen also do another program publicly, but I'm not sure when it's gonna be. It's called Breakaway for freelancers. If you want to share a bit about that.
Okay, I wasn't ready to promote that, but I'll just mention it, right? Breakaway is a program that I run also for my friends, start out with my friends, about how to market yourself as a freelance trainer in Malaysia. How do you interact with training providers? How do you interact with clients? What are the things that you need to prepare, and how do you make sure that they choose you? So this program I've run since 2017. I changed the name like 3 times because I didn't like the name. So now I've come to the name Breakaway. I think I'll stick to this for now. We've had, I don't know, 200 people pass through so far, 200 trainers. And the uniqueness about the program is that every assignment that you do in the program is actually contributing to a final output that you will send to training providers, you'll send to clients. So I really hate it when, you go to university, you do your assignment, you send to the lecturer, and then the lecturer gives you your marks in the system, and the assignment sits in his office or her office, and then eventually they'll burn it or they throw it away, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like attending courses where my assignments become dust. So for Breakaway, I'll give you 6 assignments to do, and those 6 assignments actually create an output document that you can send to clients and training providers. So the assignments are not a waste. Yeah, much of VLC, the assignments were to help you develop skill. For Breakaway is to develop an actual output document that you can use. It works on your profile, it works on your course outlines, it works on your branding. So yes, I don't plan to run that anytime soon yet because currently I'm swamped with projects and stuff. So that's why you see Anand and Davidson are doing the VLC right now. But because Farah was nice enough to ask me to come today, so we're talking about the VLC there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bernard.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and enjoy
Yes, please, everyone, please stay safe.
Enjoy your bit of MCO losing.
Yes, definitely after vaccine, please stay at home. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to this talk show.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.